Hi guys, we are live. I hope you joined us on a great video with Dr. McDaniel talking about wellness and New Eden. He has a amazing survey from an Australian research company that talks about some of the benefits of having good nutrition with New Eden, and you can look for some deviations from normal if any of those line up with things that you're struggling with, and see if New Eden might be something that benefits you. Public's here. And we're going to talk about woo, because there's so much going on, and there's so many things happening right now. So we'll be right back right after this. Hey, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. Good to see you. I'm so excited to talk about some woo. I got sent this Substack, and Laura Logan shared it today, and I hadn't had the nerve to share it. I didn't know if it was sent to me privately. There's not a lot of people that follow it, but it's really interesting. I did share it with my patrons, and it's pretty dang amazing. And then today it was really like, I've had this Donnie the Constitutionalist, she posted a thing the other day, a really thought-provoking comment, and I've kicked it back and forth a couple times and shared it with a couple people, and they were like, they distract us with this, and the whole world has just been distracted with this, China bad, we're good, blue is bad, red is good, they and us.
The eternal separations.
Yeah.
Been going on for decades and generations.
And Donnie said, they distract us with this tug of war. And what if we just put the rope down and walked away? And I think about, so I'm on this show with these guys that I have so much respect for on Thursday mornings, the World Blockchain Roundtable that Satoshi Shawn introduced me to.
Saw that.
And they're just really brilliant guys, and they're building stuff and being attacked like crazy by SEC and all these other 3-letter agencies. And they keep saying, like, they hate the number go up thing with crypto and stuff, and especially Joe, who I have so much respect for, and he always says, just go build something. And so I've kind of I've taken like Danny's thing, Donnie the Constitutionalist. She says, drop the rope, the pulling right and left, drop the rope and just go build something. And I added Joe's thing, and go build something, and quit with the number go up thing, quit with the against, good guy, bad guy, Democrat, Republican, quit asking permission. A free man doesn't ask permission. I don't know who said that in my life, but it's such a truth. Yeah. And free men don't ask permission. And we are Americans. And where are we in this country that we keep looking to these, they to solve things, when all they do is put chains on us, more and more chains on us. And every time I turn around, I was at, with my hairdresser the other day, and she's like, money just makes us a slave. And I was like, girl, it is. She's like, I'm tired. She goes, I want to work because I need it to pay my bills. She goes, but at some point, like, I've got to choose to go have a life and take a vacation, or why am I working other than to just be a slave of my life, And so anyway, let me share some of this Substack, and show you guys this President's Army. I hear that sweet baby.
Yeah, she's running around. She wanted to say hi.
Oh, yeah, I love to see her. I'm sure she's gotten so big.
She has. Hey, little girl, come here for a minute. Come here for a minute. Come say hi to Aunt Lisa.
Coming over.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I want to
let me unplug this so she can.
Yeah. I want to see.
Come here.
Hi,
Hi, baby. How are you? Oh my goodness, you're so big. Are you just getting so big?
That's her right up there.
You're growing up.
You're getting a big girl now, huh?
You're a big girl. Yeah.
How old are you? You tell Lisa how old.
How old are you?
2 years old.
Are you? Wow. And look how long your hair is.
She's got
Wow,
a lot of
so
hair, this one.
beautiful. Oh my goodness. You growing up so big. Are you having fun? Do you have a little baby with you? Do you have a puppy or a baby with you?
Do you have any babies with you right now? You have any dolls? No
Does
dolls
she
right
usually
now?
have a stuffed
No.
animal? No.
No,
Okay.
not right. Not at the moment.
Dolls. It's dolls.
Oh, it's dolls. Sorry, it's not babies.
Dolls.
It's dolls.
Sorry, just dolls. Okay.
Here,
Now I know.
Let me show Lisa this one.
This is Lambie.
This one.
Lambie. Oh, I love her. She's so cute. And she's wearing pink like you.
Yeah.
So pretty. Oh my goodness.
All right. You tell Aunt Lisa bye-bye.
Can I get kisses?
You blow her a kiss?
Oh, thank you.
This is right there.
And Lisa is
I
right
know,
there.
I am right there. Hi. How are you? It's good to
There-
see you.
There's a little delay on the television behind you, so she's looking at the television waving.
So, mwah.
All
I'll
right.
give you kisses.
Say love you. Bye-bye.
I love you. Bye-bye.
I love you. Bye-bye, baby.
I dropped it.
We'll get Lambie for you. Hold
Oh,
on.
no.
Here you go. Here's your Lambie.
Oh, my gosh. Where does time go?
Oh, I know. She's huge, and she's like, doesn't stop with the talking, like, doesn't stop with the energy.
Adorable.
She is exhausting.
Adorable. I love it.
Thank
You deserve every minute.
I do.
You do.
I do.
You do. She's adorable. Okay, so this is the coolest thing. 17th, my favorite number. Special Operation Group Dispatch. Not a lot of people are following this Substack, but I was introduced to this. It has some really great posts, not a lot of posts, but you should really go check this out in Substack. This one was posted September 11th, and it's called The President's Army. And this goes to what I was just saying. What truly matters is not which party controls our government, but whether our government is controlled by the people. On January 20th, 2017, we remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now. January 20th, 2017 was the death of the DS and the beginning of the rebirth of the constitutional republic, long forgotten about. President DJT delivered the inaugural address so powerful that it sent the political establishment and its legacy media bullhorn reeing off a cliff. But for the millions of patriotic Americans throughout our country, we knew that the inauguration of DJT as the 45th president of the United States was life-changing. Looking back, his words continue to ring true and his promises made continue to be kept. Early in Trump's speech, you hear him thanking his presidential predecessor. Oh, what's his face? And visually, you see the camera cut to a Obama close-up. That is, however, the only recording of that day's events in the mainstream narrative that they want you to see. There does exist a different video angle of that speech, one that was not live, broadcasted that day, and requires some digging on the internet to find. This alternative angle provides meaningful and critical foreshadowing of events to come. And this is on YouTube, and the speech begins at the 28.58 mark. And you can go to my Patreon to watch that.
In the background there behind DJT, what an ugly, pissed off, pushed up face looking group.
Mm-hmm.
Look at them. They're like, just like they're smelling something bad. Like,
mm-hmm. There's old Fancy Nancy.
Yeah, and the fake Indian behind her.
Yeah.
No, not behind her. To the
wait.
left.
Where's the fake Indian? Oh, back over here.
Yeah, to the left.
Yeah.
Her.
Yeah. So it says about 45 seconds into his speech, 45, you can see 2 servicemen behind him guarding the entryway. They shift their positions. And as Trump continues with his speech, the camera changes its angles. The live broadcast immediately cut to Bummer. But at his angle, you can see that, oh, wait. Trump changes speech and changes angles. Live broadcast immediately cuts to Obama, but at this angle, you can see that at 1:17 into his speech, that more servicemen approach the stage and gather behind Trump. This moment was unprecedented. Never before during an inaugural speech had Americans seen such overt show of force quite like this. For a brief moment, our new president was surrounded by servicemen as he gave his inaugural address. They were gone as quickly as they came, like ghosts. If you blinked or if the camera cut out to a different angle, you would have missed them. But as Trump said his next line, today's ceremony, however, has a very special meaning because today we're not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the American people. He was surrounded by members of our great forces. Men from the Army, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines were all visible. But what really stood out is the military intelligence servicemen to the left and a judge advocate general to the right. Almost as if it wasn't our new 45th president had just declared transfer of power from D.C. to the American people at that moment. He was the voice of our armed forces as well. And they talk about, here it's like military intelligence cap braid, judge advocate general cap braid. And they show the braids of the these two guys' hats. So how many times have you heard the phrase, the military is the only way? How many times have you uttered those words yourself? Whew. And while you might believe or know exactly what the phrase means and represents, there's a section of our military that only little is known about. So unbelievably crucial to that phrase mere existence, that operators hide in the shadows and this tip of the spear. They are everywhere and they are nowhere all at once. Some might even say they don't exist. They're very real and they have stayed with us on this reconstitution journey this far. You might be being betrayed, hurt, angry that you've been living merely in an illusion of a free country, a simulation of the land of the free and the home of the brave. We know this because we feel that way too, but we can assure you that the brave men and women you will read about next feel 17 times more betrayed, more hurt, and more angry. The President of the United States has his own personal army of secret loyal soldiers, ghosts that operate beyond the scope of every other conventional and unconventional force alike. And the full reign of the presidential king has shown the abuse these soldiers' loyalty time and again. For a brief moment in time on January 20th, 17, DJT gave these ghosts a voice. You know their victories because they've had countless. Wins. They've captured or killed America's enemies over the last 20 years. Escobar, Hussein, bin Laden. The praises can never be awarded to them. You'll see these silent operators receive these televised funerals or celebrations. You'll never see them at all. They don't exist. Their selfless service, their sacrifice, their wins, their losses all go unnoticed, unappreciated, unrecognized by most everyone. Out of necessity and by design, they are the president's army. And when I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Who shall I send? And who will go for us?" And I said, "Here I am, send me." So I don't know if I can read all this. It makes me cry. Anyway, okay, send me. Pretty biblical motto for any group attaching themselves, let alone top secret army that exists within the shadows. U.S. Special Operations Command, SOCOM for short. That's the exact motto of what will be referred to as the activity. They've gone by many names, always changing to protect their intense secrecy. Task Force Orange, the Intelligence Support Activity, Army of the Northern Virginia, Field Operations Group, Mission Support Activity, Tactical Concept Activity, have operated under various code names. Gray Fox, Optimized Talent. Ooh, that's a good one. Grand Tour Shadow, Quiet, Enable. The list goes on and on. Whatever you call them or don't call them, they're among America's most elite, most secret, yes, most skilled, and most incredible, if not the most intelligent unit to ever exist or not exist. Their motto, oh God, Latin, please. Veritas omnia vincula Vincent. Okay. The truth conquers all bonds is a telling representation of who they are and what they stand for. You know their work, even if you don't know them. They've been the men and women behind every major counterterrorism mission in the U.S. has conducted over the last 20 years. In short, they kill bad guys, including bin Laden. Well, maybe not exactly. They find and fix their target, set up the environment that allows the two most elite operating units to exist, Delta and SEAL Team 6, to finish the job and kill bad guys. Together, Delta, SEAL Team 6, and the activity make up the Joint Special Operations Command, the President's Army. Secret military units and operations are nothing new, and ever since the founding of our country, presidents have always had access to their very own secret armies and spies. In fact, we can date this all the way back to 1776 with Thomas Knowlton, a soldier whose very valiant efforts while fighting during the Battle of the Bunker Hill was recognized by his superiors, and Congress promptly promoted him to lieutenant colonel. Shortly after, President George Washington asked Knowlton to form a special army detachment that would carry out reconnaissance missions during the Battle of Harlem Heights. The unit, known as Knowlton's Rangers and considered to be the predecessor of special mission units of today, the first secret spy unit and first intelligence organizations of the United States. The date 1776, the modern U.S. Army's Intelligence Service SEAL, refers to formation of Knowlton's Rangers. Knowlton's Rangers, who are often considered the first elite unit of soldiers, performed dangerous secret missions for George Washington. George Washington was quite fond of having his own secret armies. A few years later, 1778, he ordered Major Benjamin Talmadge, Washington's head of Continental Army Services, to create a top secret spy ring in New York City, the Culper Ring, known as the Foundation of Military Intelligence, known as Washington's Secret Army. They took orders directly from President Washington, the forerunner to NSA. The Culper Ring was completely secret, and the mere existence of the unit was not even made public until over 150 years later in 1939. They relayed code messages, published newspapers, and even used invisible ink. Over time, the codes...
Coded messages published in newspapers. That sounds odd.
Sound familiar?
Almost like secret comms and advertisements and stuff.
Like promoted tweets or something?
Go figure.
Over time, codes became so complex that Talmadge even created a pocket, or like a Simpsons or something.
Yeah. Oh, good one.
So complex that even Talmadge created a pocket dictionary that included a list of verbs, nouns, people, places with corresponding code numbers. The information collected and passed on by the ring from 1778 to war's end in 1783 concerned British key troops, movements, fortifications, plans in New York and the surrounding region. Perhaps people's greatest achievement came in 1780 when it uncovered British plans to ambush the newly arrived French army in Rhode Island. Interesting. I just saw something about Rhode Island today. Without the spy ring's warnings to Washington, the Franco-American alliance may have well been damaged or destroyed by this surprise attack. The list of the presidents and their secret armies is endless. We could write an entire series based on those units alone for the sake of telling the story of reconstitution. And that's what this whole Substack is about, is the reconstitution. And that's what I think when Bix and I fight about Nasera Jacera and all that, I don't think it's the Nasera Jacera that he read about, or that I think it's the reconstitution of America is what I believe we're that's what I'm waiting on. That's what I'm hoping for. But wait, before we do, we'd like to tell you about President Abraham Lincoln's secret spy ring, because before fruits of their success, be later known as the nicknames given to the activity, which I've never heard of before. Lincoln was a big fan of clandestine operations and secret intelligence. He himself commanded an entire network of spies during the Civil War. There's even a book written on the matter titled Lincoln Spies, The Secret War to Save a Nation. In 1863, an intelligence unit was established within the Army of the Potomac, aka Lincoln's Army, that aided in the eventual surrender of General Robert E. Lee and his Army of Northern Virginia, thus the nickname. The Bureau of Military Information, headed by Colonel Joseph Sharp, one of Lincoln's very own secret spies who would conduct covert missions disguised as one of the Confederate Army soldiers. Although the unit disbanded at the end of the Civil War, its operations can be traced to the Office of Naval Intelligence, established in 1882, and then to Military Intelligence Corp, established 1885, which would eventually go on as a directed predecessor of the present day of the United States Army Intelligence and the Security Command, which just so happens to be the first home of the activity before it was moved to JSOC, the Signals Intelligence or SIGINT, I don't know how you're supposed to say that, branch of the BMI known as SigCorp. Continued on complete in secrecy after BMI's disbandment and is still a vital component of the intelligence community today. It's not too much more, guys, but it's, let's see, on to 41. The headless fourth branch of the government grew. So did their secret armies. Presidents were growing accustomed to having their own personal assassins and spies. 41, Roosevelt created the Office and Coordinator of Information. So here's the time to go into Roosevelt. Predominantly tasked with pulling out propaganda and conducting covert operations. The Voice of America. You guys heard of that? Do you follow Voice of America on Twitter? However, due to ongoing conflicts within the organization, whether it's propaganda operations should be used for tactical military operations or for public influence, COI was dissolved, and the functions were quickly separated into two new organizations later in 42. The first being the Office of War Information, which took over public influence and preceded the United States Information Agency, and its functions would be later absorbed into the department by the Clinton administration. The second was more important, the Office of Strategic Services. The OSS was a powerhouse, combining all previous covert intelligence functions of each state military branch, providing organizations that would house human intelligence, SigCorp functions, special ops, converted paramilitary functions, psyops, psychological operations, and espionage, all under one roof. If Knowlton's Rangers and Culper Ring were the ancestors of SOCOM, OSS would be the grandfather. The organization's spearhead logo is still used by SOCOM today. Unfortunately, President Truman issued an executive order shortly after WW2, terminating the OSS, once again splitting its functions here and the grips of the headless fourth branch, showing the bruising espionage. Counterintelligence research would be taken over by the State Department, and in 47, the National Security Act brought us to Central Intelligence Agency, which took over OSS, covert paramilitary and covert intelligence functions. OSS essentially splintered into good versus evil, operations being carried out by those who swore an oath to protect us on one side against those who only ever seemed to protect themselves. It goes on to talk more about the CIA, and come to think of it, doesn't that sound a lot like Antifa? Talking about PSYOPs, all this kind of stuff that I probably can't talk about. So you guys can, the new unit, Blue Light. Anyway, I probably can't talk about the rest of it, but you really should read it. Did you end up reading it? Did you have time to read it before we came on?
I read just about up to where you got to, and then I ran out of time. That there was just that one picture. If you scroll back up a little bit, there was a picture of the dagger that looks a lot like the one. Let me see that up close here.
Like Junior's
Yeah, similar to that.
tattoo.
Something, yeah, very similar.
He has a Z though.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
He doesn't. He has lightning, and he has a Z, and a dagger. Well, does he have lightning? I know he has a dagger, and he has a Z. We talked about it this morning on coffee with Den, or Den with Coffee with Den, on Dave's channel. Coffee with Den. It's Coffee with Den on Den.social on Wednesday mornings. If you go watch that, my friend Dave has a great show on there on Wednesday mornings, and I just show up, no makeup. I just wear sunglasses and my robe because I'm like, it's too early in the morning for me. And I said the only way I could show up is like bedhead and sunglasses. He's like, that's fine. And so
At least you showed up, right?
Every once in a while I'll pop in there, and he's former military. And so we start talking, and oh my gosh, you should have seen my face light up when he started talking about, so he's Navy, and he started talking about what Z means. He said, so when you go, he started talking about what the different letters mean in the military. He said, well, and so then, we're like, on this ship, and during this deployment, if they call out, and I can't remember how they say it, but something like Z, not, he goes, they were in X, not Y, they were moving to X. But if they say Z, then that means man your battle stations, like go to your battle stations. And he goes, and then that means like, and he explains what that means. That means they start closing off all the manhole things, all the ways of that, like if you're in a submarine and you start shutting off all the valves, all the exits, all the ways.
Screen door.
Shut the it's not a screen door, but all the ways that the water could get out, or all the ways that the water could get in, or whatever. It's shutting off all the exits, closing all the ways. I should play the video of him explaining it because he did a much better job than me. Go check out Coffee with Den on either YouTube or Den.social because he explains it. And I got so excited because, I think we moved from like Skull Cap Savant was on. We had him on, and he was talking about, he's a linguist guy, and he really followed the X stuff and how we were in X for a while. And then I feel like we moved to Z once the Ukraine war hit. And I saw Z a couple times, like in things. And then JFK Jr.'s tattoo is a Z with the dagger. And remember when there was that weird thing where all those people made a Z?
Yeah.
Like stood on that lawn or whatever, and then they jumped in either a tank or they either got in a tank or out of a tank or in a van and jumped on a lawn. I don't remember. Now it's been a while. I don't remember. But there was something about a Z, or maybe I don't remember. It was something weird with a Z. But that means like man your battleships, or take your battle stations. Like it's time. So I thought that was pretty exciting. So with that said, like I think everyone can kind of feel it in the air right now. There was an announcement that they're going to turn off. The mayor of Paris said that they're turning off the lights to the Eiffel Tower on at 11:45 on. Oh, now I'm gonna double check myself.
I have not heard that.
Yeah. Coinbase is going to stop trading Ethereum on the 15th, which is tomorrow, because they're preparing for the merge, they said. Then the 21st, the evening of the 21st, Paris is going to turn off the lights at the
giant free energy station with the spaceship on the top.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I can share my screen. Stop screen, share. let's see, Brave Tab. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, here she announced that it's going to go, quote, go dark at 11:45 p.m. daily, beginning September 21st. And so September 22nd is, a lot of people are saying, I think Woo Woo Dude kept seeing 22222. A lot of people have been seeing this 22222.
Right.
And September is National Preparedness Month, all that. Then this morning we were talking about the Carrington effect, which is like, I guess it's this like solar flare on steroids. I hadn't heard of it before.
The Carrington event was was the largest solar storm that's ever hit in the modern world. It was it late 1800s, I believe, early 1900s. I think it was late 1800s, and it basically was so powerful that it fried just about every telegraph wire that there is, any sort of lights, wiring. It basically melted the wires off the telegraph lines and all that kind of stuff. It shut us down. And when they talk about solar storms and solar flares and EMPs, they always equate it to, will it be as big as the Carrington event?
Okay, here's the other one. So the Simpsons have some prediction about this huge EMP on September 24th or end of the world kind of thing. And then this guy, I retweeted him, this Nicola 3, because he's like posting this whole series of the Simpsons predicting things, and talking about like, hey, Groening, if you're a time traveler, just tell us, kind of thing. It was kind of cool. But and then there's supposed to be that SpaceX launch is rescheduled for September 23rd, September 23rd.
It wasn't September 24th. Something came out in the German parliament or something. There was a guy running his mouth too much and said the events we have planned for the 24th, something, and everybody was like freaking out by it. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I do know that Germany has announced that they're going to have military and they said by October 1st, military on the streets by October 1st. We know and I've screamed it a million times, the Vatican has ordered all liquidity back to the Vatican no later than the 29th. Mm-hmm. So we're just seeing a lot of this stuff. The dates just keep lining up that something is coming somewhere around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. This was a crazy documentary. You should check it out. It's about remote viewing, and it's very factual about the CIA admitting that they use remote viewing.
I'm sure they do. Absolutely.
And it's on Amazon Prime. Let's see.
Not just that, I think the remote viewers are in all over the military, not just one agency. Mm-hmm. I think everyone's using them, which then kind of goes back to what was that Tom Cruise movie with the people in the water, with the precogs? What was that? That was Minority Report. Again, a great movie. You guys got to go back and watch that one if you haven't seen it in a while. It's basically today. It's crazy. It's basically what's happening today.
Yeah. Yesterday, FBI grabbed Lindell's phone. I know there's been some updates on that. They also had the Durham report came out that the FBI paid the Russian guy for the Steele dossier. So that was paid for by the FBI. That came out in the Durham report. So all of that kind of that Igor Danchenko.
Interesting times we live in.
Yeah. Goldman Sachs is getting ready to make huge cuts in their firm. If you guys didn't watch the Miles Franklin video that Andy did with us, go watch that. He lays out, I can't even remember, it's like 48 million ounces of gold are missing in America. And he talks about specifically like they're supposed to be out of the COMEX and onto like the retail accounts, or retail like mints, like his kind of accounts, Brinks and stuff. His Brinks accounts, they should show up, or the companies like his, and they're not there. And he's like, where are they? Not just gold, but silver as well. And then we talk more about that kind of stuff. What's going on with all that. And you see these Fidelity, Schwab, Citadel, they are launched an exchange. Everybody's getting ready, you know. New merchant code approved for card purchases. They're tracking gun sales and ammo.
They've been doing that
another
for
huge,
a long time.
Yeah, trafficking sting. Oh, this was very interesting. When have you seen that Derek Johnson kid that everybody's talking about?
I have not.
Okay, so
enlighten me.
Derek Johnson kid. I thought I sent you him. He's former military, and he like breaks it out that Trump's still in charge. And
he did the video sitting in his car.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that last.
And
night.
he
That was a great
explains
video.
like the different things in the military and what they mean, and how you know, people are just missing it. And so then when I saw this, they talk about how there was a thing where what's his name got a 21 gun salute. Prince Charles got a 21 gun salute. Well, it's how the salute is done. Like they say that Biden's, when he went to visit the tomb of the unknown soldier, that the way that his 21 gun salute was presented or whatever was actually his funeral.
Okay.
Because there's different ways.
Yes. And it's very important. The subtleties of the process of how they do things in the military is a big deal. Right.
There's two different ways of, let me see. Let me read this, of how they do it. And they just had the same thing for Prince Charles. Let me share this article. So this is interesting how, if it's true, I don't know if it's true. This Woo Woo Wednesday. So when most people think of military funerals, they think like taps played on the trumpet, folded flag, but verify viewer guests didn't see any rifle salutes of the last two military funerals. Are 21 gun salutes not allowed anymore? Question. The 3 rifle volley, often called 21 gun salute, now military banned. No, it is false. Okay, so the 3 rifle volley has not been banned. Its availability depends on personnel. So the rifle volleys are still allowed at military funerals. However, it now only requires a minimum of 2 personnel be present for military funeral honors, which is not enough for a firing party to provide traditional rifle salute. So they're saying, where is it? Where's the details of it? There was something about, maybe this is it. The Veterans Affair added that a 21 gun salute is the wrong wording for the rifle salute used at military funerals. Arlington National Cemetery calls the military salute a 3 volley salute for a 3 rifle volley. The American Legion says a 3 rifle volley consists of no less than 3 and no more than 7 rifles firing 3 volleys in memory of the fallen. 21 gun salute uses a battery or artillery pieces instead of rifles and is reserved for heads of state like the president or former president. So it's only reserved for a president or former president.
Okay.
So why would they be doing that?
there has to be some subtleties in there that would make the ubiquitous term 21 gun salute mean different things the way if it's done differently for different people. I mean,
well, the fact that they did it means that it was his funeral, because it's only used for a funeral for a president or for a former president.
I mean, come on, everybody knows the guy today doesn't look like the guy from 5 years ago. I mean, not even a little bit.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's another thing. I shared a video from like a long time ago, and somebody wrote, "Oh, the old guy, the original Biden." You know. Anyway, it was interesting. So,
the old former vice president.
Yeah, but go check out my Patreon and read that Substack, and check out. It has like a ton of really interesting posts on reconstitutionalizing the U.S. I just thought it was really wild. The 17 Special Operation Group Dispatch, the 17th SOG. And it's very encouraging. But I think that's what we have to do, is we have to like put down the right and the left. We have to put down the red and the blue. We have to put down the rope and go build together, and stop asking. We are free men, and stop asking permission of these people.
It's happening. I think that's happening. I think even here in little California, there's so much more people coming together in any number of ways, not politically or anything in particular, but just the community seems to be growing again. I'm getting that opinion, and unfortunately, a lot of it's because parents and people are just fed up with what's going on, and they've had enough. But I seem to notice myself a lot less up or down, left or right, black or white. I'm seeing a lot more people who than I think ever before fall on common ground.
The human condition.
Yeah, I really think so. I don't think there's nearly as much hostilities as there are between different groups of people anymore, even around here. And that's really surprising. It was, a year or two ago, there was just, everything was just black or white, up and down, left and right. It was so divided. We're seeing a lot more people realizing how crazy things have become. We're seeing parents stand up. We're seeing schools start to stand up and say, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're not participating in this stuff anymore. There's still a bunch of schools in New Jersey who are mandating the face diapers for children.
Really?
Oh yeah. And believe it or not, it's not just New Jersey. It's going on a lot more everywhere than people realize. But there was a lot of state funds that were tied to that. Okay, if you quote unquote play along and follow these mandates, then we'll make sure we'll be sure that you get your funding for the school. There were even comments made by our illustrious governor in New Jersey that schools that didn't follow these diaper mandates, you were going to get your funding cut. So we're seeing a big pushback against that now, and it's very encouraging. I'm more encouraged the way things are going, especially around here, than I've ever been. People just seem to be nicer now. People seem to be less on edge.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I got to roll. I've got a meeting. We're trying to save the world, and we're all doing our part. So I'm going to go build, and I hope you guys do the same. So love to you all. Take care. Give us a like, share this video, and give us a comment below. Help get this video out there. Take care, guys. Bye.
Absolutely.